I watched her from the living room window, her heels clicking across the driveway. She didn't know I could see her. She never suspected that the house she thought she was entitled to wasn't hers. Not yet. Not ever. A week had passed since my son's funeral, and I was still numb. Grief hit me in waves, sharp and jagged, but beneath the sorrow, a quiet, simmering awareness had settled in. My son had left me everything: the house, 2 cars, a bank account, all in my name. Not a word to her. Not a single hint. I remember the day I first met her. She was polite, almost shy, a warm smile that made my son light up. We laughed over tea, shared stories, and I trusted her. I believed in her. She entered our lives like a breath of spring. But spring always ends, doesn't it? The first signs were subtle: a comment here, a glance there. She would speak of our future as if she had a claim, her hand brushing mine when she thought I wasn't noticing, her eyes flickering with impatience whenever I mentioned my son's plans. I dismissed it at first. A grieving mother can't be paranoid, right? Then came the undeniable proof. A letter, a legal document carelessly left on my table. She had hired a lawyer, trying to assert some claim on assets she wasn't entitled to. My stomach sank, not with fear, but with clarity. She would take. She would manipulate. She would destroy. But she had underestimated me. I didn't panic. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I planned. I mapped it all out, quiet and meticulous. Every move she could make, I anticipated. Every lie she could spin, I countered in advance. I contacted my lawyer, secured every document, every key, every account. The house, the cars, the money, they were untouchable. She had nothing. And then came my favorite part, watching her think she had the upper hand. I let her believe she was winning, that her schemes were invisible. I smiled politely, nodded when she suggested, deferred when she demanded. Every step she took to claim what she thought was hers, I recorded, documented, cataloged. By the 6th day, she grew bold. She tried to force entry into the house, claiming she had rights. I was waiting, calm, silent. The moment she crossed the threshold, I stepped into the room, my presence quiet but commanding. Her smile faltered, her voice wavered. "I think you're mistaken," I said softly, almost sweetly. And then I handed her the documents. Every asset, every account, every deed was clearly in my name. I watched as the color drained from her face. The lawyer's letters, the threats, the manipulation, they were useless. She lunged for excuses, tried to charm, to coerce, to cry. I let her unravel. Every word, every gesture, every desperate attempt to salvage power fell apart under the weight of truth. She realized, finally, that she had miscalculated, that she had underestimated the one person she thought she could intimidate. I didn't gloat, not loudly, but inside I savored the precision of my victory. She had been clever, yes, but I was wiser, patient, strategic. And grief had sharpened me, made me observant, unyielding. By the end, she left. Not with possessions, not with leverage, not with a shred of dignity. And I closed the door behind her, quietly, securely, fully. The house smelled of my son, of memories, of love that endured, and I knew I had protected it, protected his legacy. I poured a glass of wine, the kind he loved, and sat on the couch. The sunset painted the room in amber. Relief didn't taste sweet. It tasted like control regained, like a storm passing and leaving calm in its wake. I had mourned, I had watched, I had waited, and now I had justice. Silent, precise, unshakable. She thought she could take what wasn't hers. She thought grief made me weak. She was wrong. And in that quiet moment, alone in the house filled with memories, I allowed myself a small, private smile. Because I had won, not through anger, not through confrontation, but through patience, strategy, and knowing exactly when to reveal the truth. I was not just a mother anymore. I was a guardian. And anyone who tried to cross me would learn that the calmest storms often leave the deepest marks.